All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the YouTube channel. I am joined by a brother that I have known for a very long time since we were kids, Chanse Sylvie. He played, grew up in Shreveport, graduated from Calvary Baptist, one of the best safeties that I played against and that I know out of the area. He would then go on to play for the Oklahoma Sooners. But it was the things that he was doing off the field that was so major, man, such as being a part of the All-State AFCA Good Works team, and also writing a police reform plan at one point while he was still in college, and so many other accolades that I'm probably not listing, man, but that's just a short list to talk about how special this brother is. So Chance, just first of all, appreciate you for coming on, man.
Thank you. And man, like you said, man, a lot of those accolades that I did receive, they were off the field. Being like you said, the All-State Good Hands Award. They give it to people working in the community, also good academic standing. They give it to only 20 people. Give it to only 20 people around the country. And then also I won a Mega Man of the Year. Won Apprentice God Award. It's given to Black student athlete, University of Oklahoma. I won I had to go look at the Robert J. Justice Award. Also won Big 12, all Big 12 academics. Just different awards that was off the field. I still having fun on the field, but just realizing, like I said earlier, you can still make those same highlight plays within your community. So that's something I grew fond of.
I got you, man. Now, the purpose of us having this conversation, as you can see, he has on a shirt that says OneMindset, which like I said, I've known Chance for a long time. So that's something that he's been saying since we were kids. And now it has manifested itself into something even bigger. So I just want to ask first, how did OneMindset start as the vision for you, and how has it turned into what it is now?
Man, it's crazy. Like you say that because my homeboy's birthday, I had like 3 best friends, all their birthdays, like all in the same week. But they came, it was like, man, they was like, and when mindset going forward, bro, I was like, I remember you been saying it. And I was like, man, it's crazy. Nobody really know how it started. You know, I went to Calvary Baptist Academy in high school. So we had a Bible class. I was in Bible class. It was talk. I really wasn't paying attention. I was in the back. I'm just thinking. And I know a lot of people just got into this entrepreneurial spirit and starting their own brand, but this like always been me. So I was in class thinking, like, man, like what's something that can be me? What's something that I can just showcase that shows me? And I was just in class, just listening to what they was talking about, and I just had zoned out. And I was like, man, I had wrote like an acronym, but an acronym using words. So I had like one God, mind on the Lord, said to achieve God glory. I was like, man, it ain't hard. I like that. I was like, one mindset. I was like, one mindset. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. And so I just started saying it. And then Sean, you know, back in the city they call him Lightning, Sean Lightning Brown. Well, he'd be like, man, he'll call me one mindset. Like he just kept saying it because like people know I used to just work out in the morning, afternoon, evening. I'm like 5 times a day. I'm trying to get it, trying to find a way to make it. So they were just like, that was what they just kept saying. Like, man, he, you know, in this one mindset. And so I was like, okay, I liked it. I was like, okay, well, mindset, but what does that mean? So, like I said, it was like the abbreviation for how it started. But I kind of like thought of it to where it was like, man, the word of one mindset is just like, at the time Kevin Gates dropped that song, I Don't Get Tired. So I was like, man, I don't get tired. I can do anything. And I was like, man, that's it. I was like, one mindset, like no days off. And then it was like, I was like, everybody say no days off. What's gonna make you different? I was like, perseverance through hard times. And I was like, that's where it came from. It was just like, man, no matter the things that was in front of me, I knew I could persevere for a better tomorrow. And at the time I had, not even at the time, still to this day, one of my favorite Bible verses, Proverbs 14:23. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. And so that's something I got it tatted on me. Something I say every day since I was in high school. I've been saying it. And I was like, I know I know I can go through any hard time because I know if I just work hard for it, I know if it's meant for me, it'll happen. If it's not, it won't. But I know I put the hard work in. I know something good will come from it. So I was like, that's what I want to stand for. That's what I want to embody. I don't know. Some people watch anime, but like Naruto be saying, like that's just my way. That's my way. That's what I stand by. And so that's somehow it started, and it grew later. I I don't know if you want me to wait, but I can go all the way into it. But it grew later. And so
Yeah.
that's just how it started.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely want to continue to dive in it. But, before we dive in there, you talked
Okay.
about your work ethic, and it started with just having a dream of, getting out of Shreveport, playing ball. Do you think that having that level of work ethic to say that I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure that I make this dream happen and get myself an education and do all these different things that I want to do you think that that's what kind of sparked yourself to be able to say, you know whenever things are done for me on the field, whenever that does happen, I'm going to continue to work hard to create different avenues for other people?
Man, so like people, it's crazy how my mind think. There's only a few people that really like just that know how I really like think for real from the jump. And so a lot of things people see that I do today in the community. It was something I always wanted to do as a child. And so I always loved Black history. I used to always watch History Channel. Used to always dive into it. And then I seen like with football, I was like, man, I love playing football and I was good at it. I was like, man, I know if I play football hard enough and I go hard enough, I can get to college. And so that was the goal. I was like, man, I just need to get to college. So that was on my mind. But then something that it's crazy. I think back at it. I was like, how was I even thinking like this as 10, 12? And I was telling myself like, man, I know if I was to go to the NFL, maybe people could listen to me when I speak on like Black history and what we need to change in the community. I was like, I feel like people listen to that more. I was like, people listen to people that's actually accomplishing things. And I was like, I still love the game of football. And I was like, man, so if I just focus on this right here and it take me as far as I want to go, I know what I really want to do later could happen. I was like, because even as a kid, I knew football would end one day. And I was like, man, football end one day. I know exactly what I want to do, but I don't know how to make that happen. I was like, I don't know how, but I know what I wanted to do. So that's kind of like that work ethic went hand in hand. And sometimes, like looking back at it, just to get to become an All American, those 32 offers, that wasn't by chance, and it wasn't by chance or even me chance. That was still somebody higher than me. But I can't say that it all came from the passing of my aunt. I still got him, the wristband.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when she passed, it kind of sparked something in me. Like, okay, like man, it made me realize like I've seen death, I've seen people die at Shreveport, but when you see somebody that's dear to you pass away, that it makes you think different. Like, oh, this thing real. Like you can really at any given moment, like your life can go. So I was like, man, my life ended. I want to leave like I want to leave like she left. She left with a legacy, and everybody was impacted by it. And so I was like, man, I was like, when I leave, I want to have my impact just like that. So that was when my work ethic came because her, and I seen her. I didn't even know she was going through that much pain, but to see her smile every day, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I know I can give him all every day if I got a healthy body like this. And so that was kind of my passion behind it. And so that's how I got this far with it.
Definitely, man. Yeah, Aunt Tammy, I remember her when we were in church together. It was so many times that we as kids we didn't know what was going on health wise with her. But like you said, man, she always found a way to make people laugh, to make people smile. I remember we were in children's church, and she was tough on us, but it was in a loving way. And she always made sure that she was going to also give us the love that we needed as kids. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, she always kept a positive attitude about everything that she was doing. And so having people like that in your life, I feel like is what helps to mold us to become what we become further down the line. So yeah, man, that's amazing. And now that you've established walking kind of through your course of life, you established OneMindset and what it is. How did it turn into the foundation that it is today?
Okay, so that's a good story. I've been meaning to really tell this story, so I'm glad to be able to tell it with you.
Mhm.
So I had to start when I had stopped really doing one mindset. So, in Shreveport, I had the shirts, I was selling the shirts, this and that. So, in college football, they have the NIL right now. This
Mhm.
that hot new topic. Well, at the time at Oklahoma, they didn't have the NIL. So I was like, man, I want to sell my shirts. I want to do things with my mindset. But I couldn't. They told me that I couldn't do that. It was against the rules. So they told me no. But I was like, man, I told myself, I was like, one no don't mean it's over with. They just mean go back to the drawing board and find something better. And so when I sat back, I was like, okay. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put that to the side, focus on football right now, but I'm gonna come back with it. When I come back, I'm gonna come back hungry, come back strong. So we had this thing on OU campus called Grow You, where it's called like it's player development. And so it's pretty much just player development, being a player on the field, but also learning how to be an individual off the field, developing you to be a world changer. And so we had those different programs, and seeing those different programs, I started like, okay, learning different things. And then from there, so at OU, they allowed us to grow on and off the field. And then also at the time, I had joined the Bros, joined the Mega Top 5. At the time, I wasn't big on fraternities and stuff, but I was like, I wanted to join something to get closer to the Black community and help the Black community. So I was like, all right, I was joining the Mega Top 5. So I joined them, started like really working in community. I had took African American as a minor, African American studies, learned about African American studies, learned about this and that, all these things combined in. I'm like, okay, things starting like just to mold me. Just taking your time crafting on me. And then from there, COVID happened. So they kind of boom, world just stopped. But the world stopped, but man, our lives still going. So I'm like, man, you know me, I gotta utilize this time. Like, okay, when I come out of COVID, I gotta come out of COVID hot. Cause I was like, I don't want to sit back in COVID and be like, man, I didn't put the work in to learn from this situation. And then so our coach told us, man, one of my coaches told me, man, like find what you want to do. Use this time to find what you want to use outside of football because you're a senior. Like, that's fair. So it's crazy when he said that it happened. So the George Floyd incident happened. With the George Floyd incident, which is sad. I was like, man, I was actually down here in Houston, Texas. I was in Houston, Texas. In Houston, Texas, I was training with Justin Allen. Then like I seen the thing happen. I was like, man, like my teammates was texting. I seen a group chat texting. I'm like, man, I'm tired of texting. I seen people tweet. I'm tired of tweeting. I was like, man, I want to do something right now that to make impactful change. And so that's why I was like, all right, hit me. I was like, all right, I had wrote up like a police reform, I had I had an older gentleman named James, Mr. James, I call him Mr. James. He helped me read over, it's like, okay, put it like this, boom. And then I had ended up working with her name was, can't think of her name, but she was either a governor or something like that, but she was in the political field. I think her name was Connie. But she was helping me, putting me through it, showing me like different steps, making this op-ed, making this police reform. I'm like, all right, I got something. I tweeted it out. It went crazy. Then my coach backed me up. We came back to University of Oklahoma. We had like Patrick Fields, Caleb Kelly, me, Jeremiah Hoss, and some other guys. We was all trying to do something for the incident that occurred. And so with the incident that occurred, I was allowed to be in the forefront. Like they had their plan, I had my plan opposing for them, and so it allowed me to be at the forefront and to make change and push what I wanted to. So I was sitting down with governors, police officers, police chiefs, mayors, state representatives, actually sitting down like, how can we implement this right now? I'm not trying to see tomorrow. Like, what can we do right now? So as I was going, as I was talking to these people up the ladder of command, I realized like the more I was doing my research, the more I was breaking down these numbers. I was on committee boards in Shreveport with the mayor. I was like, this is not the answer. I'm like, this is not the answer that I'm looking for. I'm like, because the further I went up, the further I was getting away from the problem. And the problem I was seeing was police brutality was definitely real. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to belittle that. But the problem that I was seeing was in our community. And that there was nobody on the ground making the change that was needed in our community for our children, and not only our children, but our people raising our children, the adults, to have a solid base and somebody there for them. Because when we was looking at police brutality, we was all saying the same thing. It was too much work on the police when it's not enough work for the people. So what I was saying is like we were calling police out for domestic abuse. Sometimes with people overdosing on drugs, all these things are occurring because of things that's happening in their life that could have been stopped before it ever transpired if somebody was there to help them. And I was like, that's what I kept coming to. And I was like, think I got an answer for that. And so while this was happening, I was doing for my master's, I was doing a paper. I was doing a paper on the FBI. It's called the Fusion Center. And what the Fusion Center is just a way where they relay messages between the Department of Defenses. Well, during 9/11, they didn't have that. And that's the reason why it was so bad, because it wasn't anybody relaying message to the whole thing, and they were having everybody on one accord. While that happened, the Black Panther movie came out. And at the end of the movie, when they dropped the Black Panther hub at the end, it showed that the reason why Killmonger was mad because he was like, y'all have all these resources, but y'all not providing for the people that need it. And they put that hub at the end, and everybody was happy, like helping the community. So I was like, man, I found a problem. I saw two things that had a solution about the same problem. I was like, man, well, I just mold that together and I make something. And I was like, ooh, I got one mindset. It's still sitting there waiting on me. And so I was like, okay, but how can I make that happen? I was like, man, Nike, they making $7 million in profit, $7 billion in profit, but not in profit, in sales. And true profit was 611 million. I did the math, divided it by 12, at about like 53 million a month. You take 10% of that, it's 5 million each month you can have to affect change in the community. And I was like, man, imagine if I had not only a foundation, but a clothing brand that was solely for under-resourced communities to thrive. So for instance, people always want to say, man, people, we all have like a little bit of money. Like, man, I want to put my time, money, or energy into something that can help the community. Because like, a lot of times we be like, Black Lives Matter. I want to work with them, but you don't know what they're actually doing inside the community. You want to work with different things, but you don't see anything being done. And so I was like, I'm that person. I know I'll go get it done. Cause like, it's just that work ethic in me. Like, I don't, what it is, like, let's do it. Like, I don't, like, what is it? Come on, let's do it. Like, I feel like I can accomplish anything. It's not because of me, but I know the power that resides in me. And so I was like, I feel like I can accomplish anything. And so that's what OneMindset grew. And that's how I became not only a foundation, but a corporation entity. Just like I said, when you see OneMindset, is that an uplift for community? And so that's how it started. And that's how it's going to finish. And that's what it is. It's just a foundation, an entity whose sole purpose is to help under-resourced communities through different various programs to help it climb.
Wow, man, a very great answer, and everything that you talked about, so many different layers in that. That's just amazing of how you start with this, you get a setback and not being able to sell shirts, and then still you're able to use it in a different way. And it's just funny, man, that sometimes God takes us in a different direction of what we thought it was supposed to be. And then it still comes around and we're able to, do what he needs us to do and what he's put us down here for a purpose to do. And then also some of our wants as well when we start falling in line with his will for our life. So yes, that is amazing in itself. One of the mottos that you have, or the motto that you have for OneMindset, and I'm gonna read it directly so I don't say it wrong. It says, uplift as you climb, one child at a time, and in due time, our community will climb. Where did that kind of come from for you, and what does it mean to you?
Got you. So, like I said, I was during COVID. I'm sitting down. I'm like, man, I'm finna make it. I'm finna bring OneMindset back. But I was like, OneMindset has to stand for like the community, like still embodying what it really was from the beginning. Still that perseverance through hard times. Still all that, but how can I relate that to the community? And so for the community, the slogan, this is the actual definition, but the slogan for the foundation is perseverance for a better tomorrow. But how do you persevere for a better tomorrow? Like, how can you have a better tomorrow? And so that's why I came up with the motto. Can't really get all the way into the details of how the motto came about. Only a few select people know. Shout out to the bros. But when I came up with the motto though, it was like, uplift as you climb, one child at a time, and in due time, our communities will climb. Because one thing I knew is that the thing I wanted to accomplish was going to happen in one day, 1 month, 1 year. It's not something that just happens immediately. It happens over time. And what I mean by that is, like energy attracts like energy. So I know if I put love into one child as I keep going, that one child eventually might pass it on to another child. So each child that I'm affecting, that child might affect another child. So in due time, I know our community will climb if I just take my time and just impart the things that I want to into the community over and over and over again, eventually you start seeing that trickle effect. Just like we play football. Like, man, if you come in every day, and it's like working out, make it simple. And you working out. That first week, you'll be like, man, I don't see no muscles. That second week, they get a little tighter though, but I don't still see no muscles. The end of the month, you think something happened, but you don't know. But man, you keep at it, man. You look at 4 months down the road, you be like, hold on, I got a little weight on me. But it's just because you're consistently doing it every day. And where it came from, just basically with this. The past is forgotten. The present is never still, but the future is always the now. So just consistently focusing on my present moment that's focused on the future. Because if you think about it, the only time the present stays still is if you take a picture or recording a video like right now. So the present always concludes to the future. So I know that that's what my motto really just goes with. Just uplifting as I climb, one child at a time, and in due time I continue to climb. So if I just take it one child at a time, and in due time, if every time that I'm just steadily focused every day on trying to help my community climb, it'll eventually climb. Just if my present moment is focused on the future goals I want to see. And so that's where it kind of came from.
Okay. And you mentioned about that consistency level of, just sticking with the process, whether that's one child or one group of kids or so on and so forth, a community. How important is that to have that level of consistency, not only for the foundation and saying that one day it will become something bigger, but also in just instilling something in children? Because, sometimes we see, a kid and we'll say, oh, that kid is just bad, or that kid is just a bad apple. How important is it to have that consistency in it to say one day it's going to click in this kid? How important is that too?
Man, consistency is the only thing that is consistent, if you think about it. But the reason why that's so important is because I want to say it like this as simple as possible. The reason why that consistency is not only important in the child, but in the foundation is because I have to be consistent with myself. And that's why is that important? Because the foundation, relies on the work I put into it. If you think like anything that's happening only grows if I do it. So I have to if I disappear, then the foundation will disappear. So I have to force myself every day to be consistent. And by forcing myself every day to be consistent, no matter what's going on, no matter the trials and tribulations, I have to consistently show up every day and show up the same way each and every time. And so once I put that into my routine, it was there, but man, fixed it, manipulated to where like it's almost, yeah, this is what I need. This is what Chanse Sylvie needs. Once I did that, now I'm consistent within myself. Now I'm learning as I grow, learning as I go, taking those same things, teaching it to the next generation. So now it's going uplift as you climb. So every time I'm climbing and learning, I'm throwing them jewels right back. So I have like a greatness speech I do. I need to do it again. It's been a while, man. I know if I go back, I'll blow some minds. But I was telling the kids, like one of the things I end with is like, man, I'm gonna give you a cheat code. This is how you know you in the process stage. You start to wake up like, man, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep waking up this early? Why do I keep doing the same thing every day? Like, man, this thing ain't gonna pop. This not it. That's when you gotta go all in. That's when God really testing to see if that's what you really want. That's when that process is starting to put on you. That's when you gotta lock in your routine, hold on tight, and consistently follow that same routine until you see that light. And so with that, saying that consistency helps me keep growing. And then when it helps me keep growing, helps me to teach the same thing back to help those kids keep growing. Because they consistently see someone always putting back into them. They okay, someone out there cares, someone out there is actually showing me, someone out there, oh, okay, I can actually do this. Because you gotta think about it. One thing that's gonna consistently show in this world is negativity. And so I have to consistently show positivity to balance out that negativity within our community. And so that's one thing. And I learned that from my boy Rashad. Don't grow weary and doing good. So just consistently at it every day.
Shout out to Rashad Johnson, man, and all that he's doing It's
Yeah.
all love,
All
the light
love.
work experience, all of those things that he's
Yeah.
doing. A lot of those lessons, just like you passed down and said that you were gonna pass things down to other kids, he was passing stuff down to
Yeah.
us, and the love just continues to cycle through, man. When you're teaching that, it's crazy.
I was telling me and Rashad, we was at a school one time, and he always says it's all love, but I threw him a bone, blew his mind. He ain't gonna tell y'all. But I told him, I was like, man, I tell the kids, I'm like, man, I know y'all weren't paying attention in science class, but I'm gonna leave y'all with a lesson. So energy is never destroyed. I mean, energy is never destroyed or created. It's always recycled. So if we consistently showing love, that energy will always be recycled. So I told him, he's like, oh, you got a good point. So that's what I was saying, just like consistently being there, consistently showing that same love no matter what. And eventually it'll start getting put into the flow of just children within the community. But then you got to consistently show, because like I said, the other side will consistent, it will always be there. So that's pretty much just the point of consistency on the way I'm going about it.
And now that we've established a level of consistency that you have, we're moving into another avenue where you're starting these college tours. You've already partnered with Booker T. Washington there in Shreveport, and you've had some big name guys to be able to donate towards those college tours that you're doing. Just tell us about, what's the goal of the college tours, and what do you hope people will be able to understand by donating their money towards it?
Okay, then. So I'll keep it simple, man. Like I said earlier, to bring it back in, at Grow You, we had the college player development. And so One Mindset Foundation is here as a not a player development, but as a life development for the community. So there's two realms in this world we live in, like the dreams you chasing. There's one thing that's not reality yet, but they're just dreams that you wake up every day and chase that you want to make reality. But then it's the reality around you that you consistently see every day. And so we're here to, like the same way we had player development, to where they was helping us chase these high dreams, to chase these high goals. But when we came back to reality, these are things of how you can comprehend that. We had like mental therapy to focus on our brain, community outreach, because the most selfish thing you can do is help another person, because it just brings you joy, brings you happiness. It kind of puts you back on your feet, on your toes. And so doing community outreach. We had job interviews, financial literacy, all those things to help us grow on and off the field. So I was like, man, we need that in our community. People want to chase these dreams, but man, they chasing reality beating them, pulling them back every time they chasing. Reality, they can't take off because they still stuck. And so that's where the foundation was kind of, once I tailored it, that's what it is. It's a life development, to where my programs are put in place to help you chase these dreams, but also deal with your reality. And so going on there to talk about the college tour, breakthroughs only happen either through one thing, stress. Shreveport give you enough stress enough, so we don't got to add that. Then two, when somebody show you a better possibility. And so that's what we're here to do. Show you a better possibility, a better way, and that there is like I said, there is a perseverance for a better tomorrow. And so with these college tours, just showing kids, man, like a world bigger than what you think. Like it's good. Like I tell people, man, it's cool to pick up the phone, looking on YouTube and Google, but when you see it with your own eyes, you know it's real. Cause like, man, once you turn that phone off and you put that phone down, you be like, man, this is where I live at. This the situation I'm in. This I can't jump in that phone. You feel me? So like when they put that phone down, they gotta come back to reality. And so like it's easy. It's like, man, you can Google these stuff and do that. You can see the but that when that phone click off, man, they got to deal with what's real. And so we taking them on this college tour to show you, like, man, we're gonna show you what's real for real. It's a better world than what you think out here, and it's more possibilities you ever could imagine, out here, in this world. And so that's what these college tours are for, to break those mental barriers that's placed on our mind in these under-resourced communities. A lot of times people think they're closed off, stuck in a bubble where I don't know if I can make it out. Statistics are against me. Well, that's what we came here to beat the statistics, to show that anybody can make it. You just need somebody to help you up. And so that's what we're doing with the college tours, taking them to Langston. Got to get approved with the principal, but that's the goal. Taking them to Langston on Friday. I got the bros up there, on the band director, whole 9 yards, showing the kids, showing them the campus. And then from there, hit up OU, and it's a spring game. get a college tour to campus, show them the game. Like, man, like showing them just this whole world, just things and possibilities that you can be. And then from there, at least one kid, just minimum, try to get them recruited at the school, sent off to college, and then find ways the OneMindset Foundation, we can get that money, sell the clothes, start having these scholarships, because that's one of them too. Scholarships where you can put at least one child in the school. I mean, everybody's not meant to go to college, but somebody is. And so just to put them in college and just to help them grow and be the next world changer. And so that's what those college tours is about, and what the Mindset Foundation is about.
No, that's major, man. Just being able to open doors and just really put the opportunities in front of some kids, man, that, like you said, might not ever see it. And allow them to have the opportunity to just see it and say, this is an opportunity for me. People that might have never considered going to college now might think about it just because it's been put in front of them. With those college tours, going to Langston's, going to the Oklahoma Spring Games, and just getting kids into a different environment, what do you hope that they will learn out of that? What do you think that they will be able to gain out of that, other than just saying, you know, I'm on a college campus, it's some fun stuff I can do here? What do you hope that they will gain out of it?
Simple. My mindset. I hope they'll look at it like, man, I know if I work hard, it's a better tomorrow for me. I know if I work hard, I could be on this campus. I know if I work hard, I can be in a different environment. I know if I work hard, I know I can be more than the environment around me, because the possibility is there. There's plenty of people that's been in this situation. There's plenty of people that have made it out. And somebody's showing me, somebody giving us the strategy, the blueprint to have a better tomorrow. And then from there, it's easy to show somebody how and the possibility. Now it's on us just to give them that push. And so that's the push you want to give them. Like I said, that breakthrough of like, man, let's get it. Like to have that mental picture, because without motivation, there's no real reason for living. And so we just want to give them that motivation to chase these high dreams, to chase these high goals, and to be these kings and queens I know they can be. And so that's what I not hope to accomplish, I know I will accomplish throughout these college tours and the programs within the foundation.
I like that you said, I will accomplish that. You got to have that belief that it's going to come through for you now. Like we mentioned, you've already had guys to donate towards these college funds. If you could just mention some of those guys so people will understand, not only is it, you know, just anybody can do it, but there are guys that are in high up positions that are willing to help, and that this is something that has really started to be laid down for their foundation.
For sure. I had Roy Williams, Hall of Famer, played for the Dallas Cowboys, legend at the University of Oklahoma. We call him Mr. Red River, because he has like the iconic Red River Superman dive where you block the ball out. But my dog, Roy Williams, he donated. Love. My dog, Terrence Marshall, Meant to Be. Shout out to the Meant to Be Corporation. Is meant to be. Plays for the Carolina Panthers. Went to Parkway. 5-star guy, but man, 5-star off the field too. Humble guy, and man, mad love to him. He donated. My dog Jordan Evans plays for the Cincinnati Bengals, linebacker with the University of Oklahoma with me. He donated to the cause, and that was, I was like, just seeing all those funds. I'm like, man, they trust me. And so with that trust, I know, like you know me, I was like, time I gotta go to work, and so like that just gave me more motivation to make sure these goals come through. Brandon Wilson donated. My dog Brandon Wilson with the Cavalry, best punt returner, kick return in the league right now for the Cincinnati Bengals. He donated. And we also had, I don't know if I know it, but Mr. Ricky, he had this company, Miss Yomika Evans. Matter of fact, make sure I say it right. Hold on. I'm actually saying it right. Pull it up. Yeah. Make sure I say her company name right. It was Brightest Futures. They provide outpatient behavioral health service with a focus on functional family therapy, which is a prevention and intervention program for at-risk youth. They donated to the cause. They also, we're in line and trying to accomplish these same things within the community. So shout out to Mr. Ricky Evans, Miss Yomika, and in the behavioral, well, it's actually the Brighter Futures Incorporation. And then also, I had a good friend of mine I played a coach I played youth football with, Bill Martin Signature Homes. They donated to the cause. Then I also had a shoe store in OKC. This is not to the college tour, but throughout, since I started my foundation, these people donated. So I just wanted to shout out, show love. But his name is Trezor Vidal. He has a little shoe store out there in OKC. He threw some money to the cause, and I gave it to our 707 team to get snacks and drinks. So like that money that we're receiving is getting put into the community immediately, right then and right there. So definitely appreciate him and thankful for him.
Yeah, we've seen how you've been able to use some of those funds. I saw that you donated post-game meals to guys and done different player of the game awards. And so that's major, that, and to allow people to see that, because, a lot of times, and I got to say this, a lot of times when it comes down to money, people are like, well, where the money going? Or what you gonna do with it? So you got to kind of show them, and you've done that. And that's a stand-up cause, man. And another thing. Yeah.
When I started my foundation, my mom was like, you need to ask for this, ask for that, man. Like for the first 6 months, I'm going all in by myself. I'm not gonna ask for nothing. I said, I'm gonna just do it myself and show like this what I love, this what I do for real. And so that's how I went about it. And because I wanted to show it was more than a foundation and a brand, and maybe people trying to say, oh, he's just trying to start something up, or he just, how people think. I want to say like, nah, this just pure from heart. There's no social media thing about it. There's none of that. It's just who I am, and what I was put on this earth to do. And so that's another reason why I feel like people started donating, because they started seeing, man, he wasn't reaching out or asking. He just was doing it. He just doing it all in, and it's not something that just happened in 2020 or in 2022. It's just something that's been in me since I touched down, since I came. And so it's just good to see it pay off.
Definitely, man. Now that we've kind of talked about the donating process and the college tours and all of that, how can people donate? Obviously, we're gonna, link that stuff so they can go directly to this interview. So you guys be sure to watch the interview, watch the whole thing, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I'm sure me and Chance will be doing more content together. I'm most definitely sure, because this is a brother that, you got to have people like this in your life, and you love to see people like Chance win. But what is it that people can do to donate? Where can they go? And how does that process work for them?
Okay, then. So if you want to donate to the foundation, I made it very simple. So you can go to our website. It has a donate. I have 2 tabs. It says how to donate to the foundation, or donate to programs. If you donate directly to the if you press one of the tabs, it'll take you to one of our donate page. You can type in everything you need and donate there regularly. You can set up to where you can donate monthly, quarterly, or yearly, or just a one-time payment. Or you can send it off through we have Zelle, Cash App, and PayPal. And I'll have all this on my website, where you can scan the QR code or use the email that's provided to send out these funds. And then once you do that, once you do that, then I'll just send you your invoice immediately. Have it emailed to you right then and there. And that's one way you can donate to the program and to the foundation. But then also you can also donate by buying our clothes, because we have percentage that we've detailed through of how much goes back to the foundation, how much goes back to buy more clothes. And so through each thing you buy, like that's my motto, like tell Deion Sanders I kind of took it from him, but I didn't. But you can look good, but you can feel good knowing that you're helping the community near you. And that's one of the mottos with our apparel, is that when you rock these clothes, man, it's not just just buying it to buy it, but it's buying it to where you can rock it in style, but also have a good heart knowing that the money you spending is going back to a good cause. And so that's another way. And I'm launching everything Monday with our clothing apparel. I'm dropping some hoodies. It's called Black. I'm doing like a Black History theme with it, because Black History is always at OneMindset Foundation. And we have different ones that I'm uploading. I have a different. I ain't gonna say it. Just I'm gonna show you. You gotta wait till Monday. But we having hoodies, and then from there we're gonna have seasonal drops. Spring, summer. We coming with the workout gear, so be ready. We have the OneMindset workout gear. And then I'm telling you, just like you would see Nike, Gucci, Prada, Polo, any of those, man, we have all those same clothes, but you can buy it here and put it back in the community. And those are the 2 ways that you can help with the foundation, is by donating or buying. And each of those, through your donation, will be a tax write-off. So when it comes tax time, you will make sure you see an invoice, and then you can have those as tax write-off. So Those are the two ways you can donate. Each way you donate will help not only the foundation but also you, by through tax write-offs, or just through buying clothes. And so that's how you can do it. That's how you can help the OneMindset Foundation.
That is major, brother. Man, I'm loving every bit of it. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy, like I said, is a class act guy, and I am sure that he is going to continue to elevate OneMindset. Chance, is there anything else that you want to share? Anything else that you want to talk about while we're here?
Man, the only thing I would like to say is uplift as you climb, one child at a time, and in due time, our community was climb. That's the OneMindset model.
We love it, brother. We love it. Chance, thank you so much for joining me, man, and continue to elevate, man.
Appreciate it.